Hi, this is Shannon. This is Cycle 2, Week 8, Tutor and Memory Work Ideas. I'm excited to share with you some fun ideas you can use as a tutor or at home or both. So if you are new to my channel, I am a homeschooling mom of 3 little ones, 6, 4, and 2, and we do classical homeschooling and love it. And I get to tutor the obesitarians, so the young ones, the 4, 5, sometimes 6-year-olds. So these ideas are with them in mind, but you can definitely use them with older kids or adjust them a little bit too. And make sure you stick around until the end of my video because like I've done in the past, I have a couple more free games that you can download and use with your kids at home this week to just practice the memory work in a fun way with them. Before we get into the tutor ideas, I want to show you a couple things that you can use if you want with your kids at home to just practice the memory work more, especially as we get closer to Christmas. So I have this Christmas winter themed memory work Wonderland game. It's Candyland style. I showed it last week too, but I just wanted to show it again. Super fun, especially as we get into Christmas, just a really fun way to review. So I'll link below where you can find this in my shop if you think this would be fun to play with your kids. Also, I just finished a Cycle 2 Hysteropoly game. So you might have seen last year I had a Cycle 1 Hysteropoly game. So this is obviously based on Monopoly, but it's all the history for all of Cycle 2. So a great way to review the history with your kids. I have fun little discovery cards that are similar to the chance cards that have different things on them. And then I have money with the different historical figures on them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 little dollar bills, each with a different important historical figure from this cycle on them. So I will link below where you can find this. My daughter and I have played this a ton and she loves it, and it's just a great fun way to review the history. We're going to start with geography this week. So for geography, I'm going to do things a little bit different this week than I've done before. I have my trivium table map, and notice I don't have anything marked on it. Or again, if you don't have these are from the Classical Conversations bookstore. But if you don't have these maps, there are maps in the Sandbox Easing each week in CC Connected. So you can go into CC Connected and print those off and laminate them if you want. Or you don't even have to laminate them. Or you can put them in clear sleeves so the kids can write on them with dry erase marker, but you don't have to laminate them that way. What we're going to do is we're learning about the Mid-Atlantic world this week. And since there's only 4 items and they're pretty simple, I'm going to let the kids actually label them on their map. So we're going to find this vertical line that goes through Greenland and South America. This is a great time to review the continents and oceans. You can talk about, hey, it goes through the Atlantic Ocean, and review South America here. And we're going to trace this line together. This line is called the Treaty of Tordesillas. So have all the kids trace this vertical line. And since it's called the Treaty of Tordesillas, it's a little bit hard to say. You could have them repeat that several times. We are going to write a T here for Treaty of Tordesillas. Next, we're going to go down to South America. We just drew the Treaty of Tordesillas through it, but we're going to go to the very bottom, and if you look really carefully, there's a little bit of water that goes in between the very bottom of South America and the tip. We're going to draw a little curved line along that little strip of water. That's called the Strait of Magellan. And you can also talk about what a strait is. I'll get to that in a second. But what's really cool too is we are going to learn more about Magellan in history. He is an explorer. He sailed through that Strait of Magellan. Since this is called the Strait of Magellan, we are going to write in S here for Strait of Magellan. Then we are going to go over to the continent Africa. Who remembers where Africa is? Yay, we're going to draw another curved line along the bottom of Africa. This is called the Cape of Good Hope. So since it's Cape of Good Hope, we're actually going to write an H there. You could write a C, but we're going to use C in a minute. So I'm going to have the kids write an H for Cape of Good Hope. We're going to remember Hope, Cape of Good Hope. And then we're going to travel up Africa until we see these little itty bitty islands. And we're going to circle them. They're called the Canary Islands. So we're going to write a C Oops, that's not great. SC for Canary Islands. So again, we've got Treaty of Tordesillas, Strait of Magellan, Cape of Good Hope, and Canary Islands. Then I'm going to teach the kids a song to the tune, oh where has my little dog gone? And it goes like this. Treaty of Tordesillas, Strait of Magellan, Cape of Good Hope, Canary Islands, the mid-Atlantic world. Treaty of Tordesillas, Strait of Magellan, Cape of Good Hope, Canary Islands, the mid-Atlantic world. Then I really like having the kids write the first letter of each term or a letter in the term, because then it makes it really easy to just practice it again. You could say, everybody erase the letter by Treaty of Tordesillas. Where was that? Oh, the T. Let's erase that one. And then everybody find the Cape of Good Hope. Which letter was that? H. Let's erase that one. Then everybody find the Strait of Magellan. And then everybody find the Canary Islands. Then you can sing it again and have them try without having the letter there as an extra challenge. Then you could have them try to erase everything and have them try to point to the right spots without it, marked with marker, just to add another challenge. So lots of things you can do there. I also wanted to show you this book. I've shown you before, but this is great for kids. I use it at home and I bring it along if we're talking about some geographical features like we are this week. So for example, strait. I'm going to show the kids what a strait is and read them that definition. There's also cape in here. So that might be one they haven't heard of, but we talk about Cape of Good Hope. There's island too. So I highly recommend Geography from A to Z, a picture glossary. I will link it below in my blog post with these tutor plans. I will definitely bring this in just to show the kids a simple picture and definition so they understand more what those are. For English this week, we are learning about the reflexive pronouns. So I will show the kids the reflexive pronouns on my board. So they are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. So we are going to continue with our song to the tune Here We Go, Looby Loo. So first I'll sing just the reflexive pronouns and have them, try to join along with me as much as they can. And then we'll start at the beginning of the song and sing the whole song through to the reflexive pronoun part. And for reflexive pronouns, we're going back to our, swing to the left and then swing to the right, just like we did when we started. So it goes like this. Reflexive pronouns, myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. So you can do just that part a couple of times with them and then say, okay, we're going to start at the very beginning. And remember, when we get to the possessive pronoun adjectives, we're going to shake our left foot and our right foot. So next week, we're going to change up our motions again too. But we always go back to the looby-loo part in between. And I'll link my video if you want to see my video with motions for the whole time, weeks 4 through 13 that we do pronouns. So it goes like this. Nominative pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. Nominative pronouns, objective pronouns, me, you, him, her, it, us, you, them. Objective pronouns, possessive pronouns, mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs, possessive pronouns. This is when we shake our left foot. Possessive pronoun, adjectives, my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. So again, you shake your left foot for the first part of that and your right foot for the second part of that. And then you go back to reflexive. So reflexive pronouns, myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. So again, I'll link my whole video if you want to watch the whole song, but that's what we will do for English this week. For timeline this week, I have my timeline cards again that I get from the Classical Conversations bookstore with the big dollar store letters on them. You don't really have to have the letters this week, but I'm in a habit of putting them on, so I did. But what I'm going to do is hide around the room like I have done a lot of times, have the kids go look for them when we get to timeline, find one, bring it back to their seat. Then I'm going to quickly go over them in order. So I'll say, okay, the first one, Council of Nicaea. Who has Council of Nicaea? And this time I focused on Nicaea. What does Nicaea start with? Ooh, go put that up on the wall. And we'll do that until all the cards are up on the wall. I like to put 7 pieces of painter's tape up on the wall, and the kids can stick the cards on them so they can see them in order. Then what I'm going to do is I have these little mini timeline cards. So these are on CC Connected. I will link in my blog post how to find them, but basically you just go to CC Connected, go to forums, search for mini timeline cards, and you should find them. So I did the ones for this week, and basically what I will do is just have a little baggie with them cut out for each kid. So each kid gets a set of the 7 timeline cards. So it takes a few minutes to cut them out, but the kids really love them. It's fun, and then they can take them home and practice with them. So what we'll do is I'll have the parents help. They'll have a visual of the timeline cards in order on the wall, and I will challenge them to put their mini timeline cards in the correct order. So as I'm walking around, I'll probably sing this week's part of the timeline song and help the kids get them in the correct order. Again, you can encourage them to look at the wall and see if that can help them, find the right one and put it in order. Then once the kids have them in order on the table, you can sing it with them and have them do the motions. Again, we do the motions as a big group before we split off into our smaller groups. So I don't spend as much time on the motions in our smaller group, but you definitely could if you wanted to. So I'll show you the motion for each one and then kind of sing it to the tune for just this week. So we start with Council of Nicaea. So we're going to do 3 fingers and start behind our hand and then move to 1. So Council of Nicaea, and then Augustine, I'm going to make an A and put it against my other fist and twist it. So Augustine of Hippo, and then we've got Jerome completes the Vulgate. So we're going to make a J and then open our book for Vulgate. Visigasac, so I'm going to make a V and then sac, grab like that, and then Rome. So Visigasac, Rome, and then we've got the Middle Ages. So we're going to hold our hand out, put our finger in the center of it, and circle around. So the Middle Ages, circa 450. So if you want, you can do 450. Circa 450 to circa 1500. So for 1500, you can put your hand up like this and go like this for 15 and then a C for 100. So circa 450 to circa 1500. So for Council of Chalcedon, we're going to do the number 2 and then just like Jesus the Messiah, our middle finger touching the palms of the opposite hand. So Council of Chalcedon, and then Western Roman Empire, we're going to make a W and move it across. Western Roman Empire falls to barbarians, like that. So I'll do it one more time, singing the tune with the motions. Council of Nicaea, Augustine of Hippo. Jerome completes the Vulgate, Visigasac, Rome. The Middle Ages, circa 450 to circa 1500. Council of Chalcedon, Western Roman Empire falls to barbarians. That is timeline this week. For math this week, we are skip counting the 14s. So I made these little popsicle sticks with all the 14s on them. There's 15 different numbers that we skip count. So, say you have 7 kids, each kid could get a number that's every other number. And so what I'm going to do is have them stand in a line, a horizontal line, and then give each kid a number to hold. And I'm going to tell them that's their number. And when we say your number, you're going to hold it up high in the sky. So if I had 7 kids, I would not give 14 to a kid. I would give the second one 28. And then I wouldn't give 42, I would give the next one 56. So I'm giving every other number. And I would make sure all the kids know their number. So we would go through and I would say, okay, tell me what your number is. And I would help them. So 28, awesome. Make sure they all know their number. And then I would say, okay, I want you to listen really carefully. We're going to skip count the 14s. We're going to sing a little song. And when you hear your number, I want you to hold it up high. So it goes like this. 14, 28, 42, 56, 70, 84, 98, 112, 126, 140, 154, 168, 182, 196, 210. So again, I would give the kids a popsicle stick to hold so they own one number. And when they hear that number, they got to hold it up high, and you can have them shake it a little bit. Just another spin on skip counting. You could also have them, hold it up once, and then the next time you sing it, maybe have them jump up when they hear their number. Just try to make a big deal that we only hold it up or jump when we sing our special number. So that is math this week. For history this week, we are learning about the European explorers. So first, I'm going to have the kids stand up and we're going to row our boats to the history song and just listen and sing along if we can through it one time. Then I have these maps that you can download if you want to use. They just show the journey of each explorer, and this is not the full map. I actually cut it up into several pieces. So I have a piece for each explorer's journey, or for the majority of their journey. Some of their journeys go together a little bit. But I'm going to have these cut out for each child. So I'll have a baggie with these pieces for each child. And what I will do is hand them out, but I'm going to tell them we're not going to open them quite yet. We're going to get up again and we're going to row to the song. But this time I'm going to set a timer. You could use a buzzer. And when the buzzer timer goes off, we're going to freeze. And we're going to talk about what explorer did we just hear about. And then we're going to find that explorer as part of the map and put that on the table to start our map. For example, I'll start it playing and it goes like this. Between the late 1400s and the mid 1500s, Diaz rounded the Cape of Good Hope. We'll all freeze. And if you do it for about 10 seconds, it will stop there. You can kind of look at the song and see where you should stop the timer. Or if you just have a buzzer thing that you can control, then you can listen to the song and buzz it when you want it to. Or you can just make a buzzing noise with your mouth, just like I just did. That might be the simplest way to do it. But you want to buzz after each explorer. So the first one, we heard Diaz rounded the Cape of Good Hope. Buzz, everybody freezes. And then we're all going to find our Diaz part of our map, which is right here, the big part. So I'm going to have everybody take the big part out of their bag and just put it on the table. And then keep the other parts separate. Then I'm going to go back to the beginning of the song and we're going to do it again. So between the late 1400s and the mid 1500s, Diaz rounded the Cape of Good Hope. Amerigo Vespucci sailed to the Americas. Buzz, freeze! Now we're going to find Vespucci sailed to the Americas, the blue one. Everybody find that. And then we're going to add that to our map and see if we can connect the blue line or Vespucci's journey like that. So they'll connect a little bit. So then you can go back to the beginning of the song and then buzz it after the next one. So after Balboa, and then take Balboa out and add it to your map so it will connect to the blue Vespucci a little bit. And then you keep doing it until you have all 4 pieces of your map connected. Then you could have the kids tape it together. You could help them so they can take that map home and see all the different journeys together. So once we have our map together, then we'll kind of go over, let's look at the first one, Diaz, it's in a gold color. Look, he rounded the Cape of Good Hope. Remember we learned about that in geography, Cape of Good Hope at the bottom of Africa. And then let's go to Vespucci, the blue one. It goes from Europe over South America and Central America. And that just gives them a good visual of where these explorers traveled and connects it to geography. So that is history. For science this week, we are learning about aquatic biomes. So I made these little fish popsicle sticks. You can tell I'm kind of in a popsicle stick mood this week, but these are really simple and I'm going to let the kids take them home, just fun. And then at home, they can practice seeing the aquatic biomes as their fish swims through the water. This is something too, if you want to make something like this and you have a kid who can help you cut it out or tape it to the popsicle stick. I know my daughter loves helping me with stuff like this. So I'm going to give the kids each a little fishy, and I'm going to talk to them about the different aquatic biomes and that they're all water. So that's why we have our fish. And then we're going to sing a song to the tune Bingo as we swim our fish. And you could have them, walk around the room swimming their fish, or if you would rather, you could just have them sit or stand and swim their fish along with their arm. So the song goes like this, and again, it's to the tune Bingo. What are some aquatic biomes, streams and rivers, wetlands and estuaries, ponds and lakes, oceans and seas, some aquatic biomes? You could have the fish swim really smooth the first time and then maybe a little bit rougher the second time. What are some aquatic biomes, streams and rivers, wetlands and estuaries, ponds and lakes, oceans and seas, some aquatic biomes? You could have them swim way up high, swim way down low. So different ways to just have them sing the song and hear that memory work multiple times. For Latin this week, we are going to play musical chairs. So you can play this the traditional way, where you take a chair away each time. Or if you have young kids and you feel like that might make them sad, you don't have to do that. You can just put chairs together in a circle. So I like to, put the back of the chair towards the inside of the circle so the chairs are facing out, and have the kids walk around the chairs as we sing the Latin song. And then when it ends, everybody sits in the chair closest to them. So you could totally just leave it at that. And then just play the Latin song multiple times or sing it. Let them sit in different chairs, and that's good. If you want to take away a chair each time, you totally can if you feel like your kids can handle that and won't get upset. So you would start with one less chair than the number of kids you have, and then just take away a chair each time. So we are doing the first conjugation endings perfect tense, and it goes like this. E isti it, imis istis errant, first conjugation perfect tense. So again, after that ends right there, I would have everybody sit in the chair closest to them. And then once everybody's sitting down, we can stand up and do it again, or you can take away a chair and do it again until there's one person left. That is Latin. For review this week, we're gonna play Dress the Tutor. So I have a tie, I have a hat, I have another hat. You could just find anything kind of silly you have laying around. I don't have a ton of stuff because I like to get rid of stuff I don't need, but gloves. Anyway, and I have glasses somewhere. Yes, I have glasses. So what I'm going to do is ask the kids review questions, and if they get the answer right, they get to come put something on me. So they love this. This is kind of crazy, but it's really fun. So for example, I could ask, okay, who remembers one of the land biomes that we learned about? Ooh, desert, good job, okay. So they get to choose which of these things they want to put on me. So say they want to put the hat on me. Okay, put the hat on me, awesome. All right, I'm gonna ask another question. So who remembers what happened to the church when we were learning about William the Conqueror? The church split, okay. So maybe they want to put the hat on me now. All right. Now, who remembers how we skip count the threes? 3, 6, 9. Okay, good job. All right, now they wanted to put the glasses on me. All right. Who can remember one of the pronouns we've learned about so far? He. Good job. All right, so maybe they choose to put the tie on me. So you can bring as many funny things as you have and let the kids go to town. It will be really fun. They'll have a lot of fun with it, and you'll get to look really cool. So that is review this week. Also, we're doing Tin Whistle, and if you missed it last week, I have a whole resource booklet for Tin Whistle. So all 6 weeks, I have lesson plans and activities, things you can print out. So this week, we're talking about dynamics. So I have these fun little flashcards that say the different terms, so you can print those out and use those. And I have ideas for how to use them in here. So I'll link my video below where I'll get deeper into what I'm actually going to do for Tin Whistle each week, my plans, ideas, activities. Please check it out. This is free. I worked really hard on this in hopes that it would help you and just make Tin Whistle really easy for you, because I know Tin Whistle can be a little bit intimidating. So again, I'll link my Tin Whistle stuff below. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, like I promised, I want to share with you the games that I made that you can play with your kids at home this week to practice the memory work. These are free. I'm just excited to share them. The first one is a history 4 in a row game about the explorers. So I have a little spinner template, and I just use the same spinner every time. I bought these spinners from Amazon, and it was a 2-pack, really cheap, and I just keep using the same ones. I just keep moving them on to the next spinner if I am playing a game with a spinner. So basically you spin the spinner and then you just mark one of the explorer spots that you see, and the goal is to get 4 in a row, and there's several different game boards. So multiple people can play and then see who is the first person to get 4 in a row. And then the ship spot is a free space, and there's a different spot with the ship on each game board. So that's history. And then also, I've shown this before, my Latin bingo game, but this has all the Latin endings for the whole entire year, all of cycle 2. So great way to review Latin, and there's different bingo boards too, so you can play with multiple people. I will link below where you can download those games. I hope you enjoy them. Also, if you are enjoying my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I am posting at least 1 video per week with tutor ideas and other homeschooling tips and help. Sometimes I share about healthy living, recipes we're making, things like that. Also, check out my Instagram. I like to post what I do with my kids throughout the week in our homeschool. And check out my blog where I have my shop with the resources I referred to and my free resource library and lots of blog posts too. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.